Winnie? Have we lost Winnie? Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's show. Our host for the day, our main host for the day is Winifred. She was there and just disappeared. I think Winifred is back on. Okay, she's back again. Winifred, we're waiting for you. We're ready to start. Hi, Winnie. Okay. Oche.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Winnie is here. I think she's having a problem with the audio.
Okay.
I'm unable to mute her.
So Ike, that you see Oche very soon. So she's here now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Oche,
Winnie, we can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Sorry for the delay. It's the network from Niger. We all know that. I'm not going to say anything more to that, but we all understand what it means to live in Nigeria.
Okay.
So my affirmation for today is, if you don't have self-discipline, you are not in control of your life. Now, with that being said, yes, let me go to today's topic. I know everybody is eager for this topic. Everybody, all ears, eyes, hands are on deck, waiting to chip in and say something. Okay, today's topic is X or exit. Most times we fall in love hoping that the relationship is for the long haul, or it takes us to the altar without thinking whether the other person feels the same way and has the same aspirations as we do. Breakups are tough enough, but even after a relationship ends, your ex has the potential to sabotage or mar your next attempt at love. So what do we do? Now, this brings me to my first question. Would you remain friends with an ex after a breakup, or cut them off completely? Does anybody want to take on that? Would you remain friends with an ex after a breakup, or cut them off completely?
Well,
hello, good evening.
Can I say
Good
something?
evening, yeah. Somebody wants to talk, yeah.
Can I?
Good evening.
Good
Can
evening.
I talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Betsy. I believe on this topic, I will remain friend with my ex. If there's children involved, as it would be the only reason.
So this is ex-husband you're talking about. If it's an ex-boyfriend.
Never.
Never. Okay. Thank you.
Benson,
Okay.
you wanted to say something?
Well, I do have a different opinion to that. So for me, there's something I believe in so much. No matter whether you call it X or whatever it is.
Oh, why?
I always try to maintain a very good relationship, even if we are parting ways. Even if we are parting ways, and the relationship will have its boundaries, because you don't know who will be your Messiah tomorrow. You don't know the office you go into, and she's the person there or he's the person there. So always try to make sure that for me, that's what I would do. Even the person I would have married, I still have good close contact with them up to today. Even up to today.
With them. Keyword with them.
Yeah, with them. With them. With them. So I so for me, for me personally as Benson, I maintain the relationship. We don't know where help will come from tomorrow. And there.
Thank you very much. So you're maintaining that relationship in view of what it may benefit in the future.
Anything might happen, even benefit the lady or because you cannot tell me now, maybe I'm a CEO of an organization, and she maybe one of the days she walks into the office, or maybe I know the son and he walks into the office looking for a job. You think I'll not give the son the job? I'll give the son.
If you have a good heart.
Yes, I will give the son the job.
And actually, let me ask a question on that. Does this depend on how you people finish the relationship?
That's why I said always try to finish.
Sorry, that's exactly what I want to say. Because if the relationship was amicable and you both decided to go your separate ways, then that's a respectable one. But if it was like toxic or horrible or nasty, or I don't even want to hear of your name again.
Okay. I've never had anyone that is toxic. Why I said what I said, the person that I would have married, the only way we parted ways was somebody was trying to ask for her hand in marriage. Then she called me. Then I was still in, that was my third year in the university. She called me and said, somebody is coming. What do I say to the person? That was the first time I went to a marriage counselor. So I went to the marriage counselor. The marriage counselor just asked me one question. He said, Benson, are you ready? I said, no. He said, okay, if you're not ready, leave her to go.
Let her go.
She has done what she has done what she came to do in your life. Because I'm one person before. Whether before I can't tell you sorry, because I'll be like, I didn't do nothing to you. But she taught me how to say sorry, even when she's wrong, I'll tell her sorry.
Okay.
So the lady, after explaining to the marriage counselor, allow her go.
Yeah, Winnie, before you carry on, let me read the chat. There's a comment on the chat, or comments on the chat. We have, for you to establish and enjoy a new relationship, exit must be exit the door. And another one says relationship boundaries are important. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
are you there, Winnie? I think she's all dropped. Are you there? Okay, she is there, yeah. Okay, do you want to take the next? Okay. Any more on this question, on the first question? Does anybody want to add to it? I may even have an answer to it, even. Would you remain friends with an ex after a breakup or cut them off completely? I'm a bit like, sorry.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
Right. Exit must be exit. Because if not, it would then affect the stability of the next move. Are you done? If you're done in a relationship, forget about the business parts, about what can then transfer between the family or the financial gain or placement, whatever it is. But when it comes to the love, which is the key word here, two people who have agreed to be together. And let me bring the Bible in. The Bible says, James 3:3, can two walk together without them not agreeing? So if there's too many things that you don't share in common that leads to the breakdown of the relationship, then go your way, irrespective of other things. But the irony here is that if you hang on to X, how many X are you going to hang on to? 3, 4, 5? So how are you going to enjoy the new relationship? Because you're going to find them to be COO, you're going to find them to be president of Nigeria, You're going to find them to be the owner of oil company. So in this modern world, then you might be hanging up to numerous relationships. And the effect of that is you will never be at peace in your relationship. In fact, that could lead to breakdown of your new relationship.
All right.
And if that carry on, you will be in crisis. There will be no relationship. There will be no happiness, and you will just live in the bush.
Okay. Can I say something? With what you've just said, how many exes will you hang on to?
That's right.
Would you not see those exes? This is in a world where you consider your ex a friend. Would you not see them and put them in the same category as the other friends, numerous friends that you have maintained relationship with? What's the difference?
It's different. The platonic friend is different. When it comes to relationship in terms of loving each other, you're passionate about the person. And when you go into a relationship with somebody, you find something you might not find another person ever in your life. And if you then get cluttered without what you find in that person, forever and ever, you continue to remember that person. And it will be in your mind. So if you don't have the ability to blank out what tied up relationship, sexuality, if that sexual part still arises in your mind and you desire it, then definitely the home is on fire.
Okay.
And I'm sure we all know that. So it's better says that, you know what, if you finish, then you're cleaned up. But I would say that you always find some person, some people in your life that you just can't move away with. So exit might not be exit. To some people, exit is exit.
Okay. So what you, in a nutshell, what you're saying, depending on how that relationship ended. Is that correct?
Not how it
doesn't
ended.
matter.
Depending on how that relationship was in a good time. If the relationship is sweet, if the relationship is pleasurable, if the relationship is peaceful, and the person had a part in your life, you will always remember them.
Okay.
You might not get married to the best person you meet in your journey in life.
Okay.
Yeah, so that person outside might even be the one, the key of your mind. And that's why you find married men still fancy somebody they've been with years, and the same vice versa. Yeah, because of special thing they had that one way or the other, you just can't have it again. They can't find the same kind of person. Everybody's different.
Okay. Let's there's so many hands up. Faith, do you want to go first?
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I've had I think everybody's response. I've had Ben's response. Okay. I think I will the last guy I just spoke now, I think normally I'll take most of his own. Ben Sims' own, because of future, I'll take it maybe like 5%. Generally, my own take is, hey, if you've had a relationship with anybody before, okay? I mean, when I mean relationship, sexual relationship, I mean, and you are no more with the person. Sincerely, my ex today, I don't have their numbers. They don't have my numbers. That's it. Because if you are married and you have a girlfriend, a serious relationship, and you have your ex numbers, once in a while you guys call just to maintain that's friendship. Hey, man, we're human beings. What are your boundaries? There once in a while there'll be some misled talk or I mean sleep talk. I mean, let bygones be bygones. Let's forget the past. There's no hatred. We don't hate ourselves, but if we see ourselves fine, if we don't in future we can help ourselves. But why do we maintain and keep relationships with our ex? What do we expect? What do we profit? What do we need them for again in life?
Okay.
It
doesn't matter how you ended that relationship.
Yeah,
for you.
Whether it's toxic or not toxic, it's not fight or whatever. If you have ended a relationship with somebody, I mean, just not friends or partly sexual affairs with somebody. You dated for some time, you guys had a good time. Now, why do you keep in contact again?
Okay.
The feelings will come up.
Okay.
And you affect your current marriage, your current girlfriend. Once in a while, you're on the phone talking. My ex. Oh, we're just saying hi. I want to find out how I'm doing. Why you find out how I'm doing? Man, you face your new marriage or your new boyfriend.
Thank you
to
very
find
much.
out how I'm doing. You understand? There's no need. I'm serious.
Let's go to the next. We'll go to the next question. Ike. Hello.
Interesting. I think everybody will answer this question in many ways, different ways, and to be honest, all the answers so far has merit to them. Everybody who has spoken have merit to them. But let's be real here. The truth of the matter is this, or at least in my own perspective, will be it all depends on how the relationship was, what broke up the relationship. Some people have been friends and had sexual relationship and still are friends, and there's no sex involved anymore. And there's people who can't, they keep going. Okafor's law keeps occurring all the time with them. So it all depends on if you know Okafor's law is going to occur. If you have a friend, then you keep away from that friend in the sense that you don't want to, jeopardize what you have. Yeah. But the reality is that we keep most times. I think this question will be boiling more towards married couples. If you have a divorce, what goes on? Because those ones are the ones that really, really matter. For me, boyfriend, girlfriend, you go your way, I go my way. We can remain friends. We don't remain friends. It doesn't really matter. Where the problem lies is if you're married and you're divorced, what kind of communication do you keep with your ex? And what is the aim of the whole thing? Because if you have children, you always have to make sure that your communication is positive and you don't jeopardize them because of the children that's involved. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We know that. We know that many times when people get divorced, there's so much acrimony and animosity that it's rare that you have two couples to go their separate way without so much baggage involved. And unfortunately, it affects the children. And that's one thing couples should understand. If a man and a woman can decide you don't want to live together, you don't want to have anything to do, that's fine. Just make sure that you have something that is positive for your children to see and emulate. And that is the crucial thing there. Unfortunately, in separations, you have so much fight, so much bitterness that one person wants to use the children against the other person, or one person is poisoning the children's mind against the other person. So that, to me, is the area that I'm looking at. If you're talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, people you dated, some of us like Benson had so many exes that it's become like a village. So where will Benson start from? If like he said it here himself that they. So if you have so much like a village, want it like village, where will so it will be impossible to say I will ignore all of them. It's not possible because in life, his person is right. You could walk into an office. If you have a good relationship with your ex, even if two of you are broken up, you can walk into the office and be comfortable knowing that the person will still attend to you and make sure things happen, right? And like my father always say, never ever nail shut any door. Never nail shut any door, because you never know that one day you might want
your bridges.
Yeah. So if you're going to be nailing short, so when the last speaker was talking about, cut all ties. Wow. Sometimes those ties also might help you. Because it might help you get to the next level. But like you said, keep away from the sexual stuff. But that doesn't mean because you and someone had sex before, that means whenever you see the person, you must have. No, it doesn't. I don't think it follows. But you can keep a good relationship that has to do with making sure that you have boundaries set. It's you that sets the boundaries. Okay? If you're talking to your ex and he starts drifting towards sex, you should know how to stop it if you want to.
Yeah. I've got so many questions to go through. Zion LBD, you've got your hands up.
Hello. Wadiana, it's Norma. I've been trying to change this name, but I haven't bothered for now. Yeah, okay, I'll just add to what the other people have been saying. I think how people will relate to their exes, whether it's divorcee or ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, will depend on the personality of those people. I think in all, it's about whether you know and able to do what they call control.
Discipline.
Knowing how far, discipline and control, knowing how far you go at any situation. Somebody like me, I will never want to bear any grudges, whether the person has done me wrong. All I know is I will know how far I go and when not to go. And of course, some people maybe with their old relationships, and when they meet again, it's almost like igniting the light or whatever. So if you know you have that tendency or you're weak in that area, then don't put yourself in situations where you'll be tempted to start going overboard. If you do not know control, then don't put yourself there. But if you can, and like some other people have said, it's not all about what you will gain. It's also what you might give. It's a give and take within any human being, and I generally believe in forgiveness. If somebody has wronged me, I'll forgive the person, but I'll know how far next time I'll go with the person. And I expect the same. And of course, I never believe that people should, bias their children's or friends or whatever just because they didn't get on with the other person. Yeah. Okay. And no one person has it all. Your husband or your wife is not the 100% human being. Every human being needs some help and support, and that help and support can come from your exes. So if you start burning them, you might be losing out in that way. That's my own little whatever. But if you don't know how to exercise control, then don't go there. If you can, I believe everybody, can get help, can extend their relationship. In short, working in one of the places where I worked, I was surprised in this Oyibo country where, ex-wives or whatever have come and the existing wife is still there, and they were coming to visit this person in hospital and doing everything. And it's not because they wanted any more. I think they were just being human beings. If you ask me, they are just being human beings. So if you can handle it, go. If you can't handle it, leave it. And if people will insult you for extending that arm of relationship, then probably cut it off.
Okay. No, thank you. Yeah, going back to what you just said, there are comments here where someone said people go back and marry their exes many times. It's happened. And again, I said people cannot control, you can't control how you feel. And some other person, unfortunately, some people just thought you're right. So you can't control it. For some reason, this number one question, most men just took it upon themselves to answer. Just 2 women have spoken about it. We can go to the next question and always revisit this. Oche, are you there?
Yes, please. Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Oche.
I'm sorry I can't put on my video,
Oche,
but
good evening.
I'm sure you can hear my voice. Benson, I'm not even talking to you, okay? I haven't heard from you this year, but that's a story for another day. So, question number, I can cut Giche.
Ike wants to put us under.
My question is it ideal to talk about an ex while in a relationship?
Can I go?
Before you go, Oche.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we heard you. Oche, when you, with that question, you decided to talk about an ex while in a relationship, what are we talking about? Is it talking about what? Anyway, anybody can take the answer.
Some people, Mama, to answer you, some people delight in saying, oh, when I was with this guy, he would help me polish my shoe.
Oh, okay.
When I was with that one, oh, we used to go to the movies a lot. Why did you stay back there and be doing movies?
Well, Oche,
that's where my question is coming from. Is it okay to talk about him in a new relationship?
Oche, OJ,
Benson,
for
don't
me,
make me make you an exo. I don't want to be talking about you after now.
Okay. No, you can't. I cannot. But let me
Okay.
answer.
See, Esther quickly said it could be unintentional. Yeah, you could actually talk about such a person, but by not rubbing it in. I'm talking from my own end of someone who is very sensitive. If you say stuff like, "Oh, I like it when friends help me do stuff," it's different from when this guy knows that this is your ex, and then you keep talking about him like that. There's no way, even if you're made of wood, there's no way he's not going to rub you off wrongly.
That one is not good.
But people do it.
Well, for me,
Benson, go ahead and say what you wanted to say.
For me, I wouldn't toe that line of, but I will tell you everything about my ex so that you don't hear it from any other person. But the issue of always bringing, she does this, she does that, to the face of the current person, no, I won't do that. Because
okay, so Benson, do you also know that, like now you said you would talk about your ex? Do you know that there's an extent to which you can praise that ex and it's a problem?
No,
if you're always saying, "Oh, the way OJ cooks egusi soup,"
I will not do. I
won't cook egusi soup again for you.
Like I said, I will not do that because I'm trying to bring up a problem if I do that.
Exactly. So if when you say you want to talk about your ex and say everything about your ex so that she doesn't hear it elsewhere, then there has to be a limit. You need to be careful what you want to tell the person about your ex. And is there really a need to talk about your ex? Is there?
There is. I believe there is. It might be 50-50. I believe there is.
Okay, so what kind of thing do you think is okay to tell your new person about your ex?
Okay, what I think is okay.
Give me an example.
For me, oh, so personal. If my ex, so sometimes we see I know party so marakwa so that so that you know that person is my ex, but praising that my ex in her front, no, I will not do that.
Okay, but you praise behind.
No, I will not praise behind. I will not praise behind.
I'm just asking. Okay, so you are talking about letting her know the basics that this person exists and you had something with this person. Yes. I don't think that is a problem. And I don't think that is the talking about we mean with this question.
But I'm not going to talk about the person because I know it's going to bring up problems.
Okay, Easy. Would you like to say something, please? Hey, Easy.
Oh, yes.
Good to see you.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, it's been a long time.
Hey, Easy, come on.
I miss everybody.
Where is Easy coming from?
You won't start that one again. This is my best friend.
Go ahead, Easy.
No, I did London. I came back from Uganda a few days ago. Okay, about the exes. It's very easy for people to talk. I can never talk about my ex because they're plenty. So there's no point. There's no point. How do you start talking about 10 exes? So the best thing, don't talk about anybody. But the irony of it is like, it's my partner that kept saying, how is that Josephine? Have you seen that? Oh, how is the Nneka? Oh, how is this? I said, you tell me. I don't know. I'd never, ever. They're plenty. They reach 25. So I don't get that. I have to live my life. So I don't get to think of other people.
Life is small.
Now that place you get problem. Maybe I to get 50.
You see, that's where my problem lies. So there's no reason at all, no matter which kind of soup you cook. I'm with the one that's
okay. Can I add something? Because the question is.
Okay, somebody, Mama, before you say something, Celestial Church of Christ needs to say something. Celestial Church of Christ wants to say something, Mama.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Cele, go ahead.
So, how are you guys?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, you.
Very well. Right. So that we don't deviate from the framework. The framework is having an ex, done with the ex. Can you take your leave and make it permanent? We understand that is not possible at all times.
Thank you. Not possible.
In some situation, it is possible. In some situation, it is impossible. We're talking about emotions here. There are people you come across in the way of life, you will never forget them. What we're guiding against, so that your past does not affect your present. That's all we're talking about. How do you guard your past from not affecting your present? How many people have gone back to marry their baby mother? Many people. Many people have married and lived a relationship. Few years down the line, they've gone back to the altar properly and marry at their ex. Because there's a vacuum that ex left. It could be too many things. Inexperience at that time, immaturity, finance. A lot of things could have occurred that does not make that relationship work at that point in time. As they grow apart, there is a possibility that that vacuum, nobody could have filled it. All she has is just pash. All he has is just pash. So if you leave the door open and you're not closing the door properly, let me tell you, if you find that ex and you could then build with, now you're grown up now, you're not my child, now you're mature, and the behaviors are different. There's a possibility that you were there. So in a way, I'm going to round up very quickly. If you want to move away finally, you can do so, but it is not applicable to every other person. We're all different. You cannot control emotions. You can't control yourself. You can't control what other people emotions are. And in this modern world that we live in, I can tell you, you cannot speak for another person. The way he lives or the way she lives, what she thinks or what you think, they are just numerous. They're just unbelievable. Yeah. God bless you all. Thank you. I gotta go now.
Thank you very much.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
please. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I came late. I'm driving. I didn't get the the initial things that were said, but going back to OJ's question, OJ asked, "Is it okay to compare your ideal?"
No. That she said, is it ideal to talk about?
Sorry, to discuss. Ex? Yeah, to discuss your ex, not compare.
While in a relationship,
To discuss your ex whilst in a relationship. And it depends on what it is that is being discussed. And it also depends on if there is still something binding you and your ex. Let's say there is a child that is involved with the ex. Obviously, that ex would continue to be in the lives of you and your present. But if it's a question of you and your ex are done and dusted, everything, done and dusted, personally, I don't think you should discuss your ex with your present. Because what would the discussion be about? In what context? Because, some people can be manipulative. Are you discussing because you're trying, like OJ said, comparing? Why would you be doing that? You're trying to manipulate your present partner by discussing your ex and saying, oh, whilst I was with this person, they used to do this, they used to give me peace. So why are you still not with that ex? Personally, I don't think it's right to be discussing your past with your present unless there is a reason to, like maybe there's a child involved. That's the only reason I think that should come in.
Okay. Apart from the child, because we keep talking about a child being involved, have we thought about talking about that person for one reason? Example, if the person has a service that will require, and me in this new relationship, or we're building a house, or we're sweeping the floor, sweeping the street, and I said, oh, do you know, Okeke that I used to know has a machine that sweeps the floor. Is it still a wrong discussion to have in a relationship or not?
Personally, I feel it could be threatening to the new person. Okeke is not the only person that has a stripping floor company. Just for the well-being of the new relationship, you guys should go and look for a neutral Okafor. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Sure. I agree to that.
So that final statement reconfirms the last question for the day, which says, do you agree that an ex is an enemy? Because we've automatically made them enemies. No go area. Anyway, Oche, back to you.
What are you giving back to me?
Your next question.
You want to make Benson an ex by force?
No, don't mind her.
Benson.
You want to make Benson an ex by force?
You know, go walk.
If that will make peace reign, well,
I know that I could come in. I know.
For some reason, the men just stole the show today about this.
Which is good. They are the ones with the 20 and 25 exits. So what do you expect?
I wanted to chip something in about sharing with ex, and for me, it's always a personal perspective. Sometimes you have to know, I think, before you share anything with anybody, you also have to know the level of maturity of that person.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to handle what you are sharing.
Yeah.
For example, if like Benson, who had a very active dating life, shared details of his dating life with his wife, he has to be sure that the wife is able to handle that and not use it as a weapon for every future incident to happen. If Ben passes talking to a woman, the wife is suspecting that, Ben is must be is a sexual thing.
Or why not use Ike than using Ben?
Sorry, it was like you were the closest example that I could use, given the fact that you admitted today that you had a lot of exes. So please, Ben, let me finish my talk. If you have any other objection, you can bring it up afterwards, or you can go to Oche and lay it. Anyway, so you have to look at the person you are dealing with. If you know that bringing some things will lead to other things, don't even go there, because some people suffer from their own personal insecurities. Suspicion is also one thing. So it's the same thing as if your wife comes to you and start telling you a long list of guys she has dated. If she start talking to a guy and you are the one who is always, why are you talking to this? Or so the woman also have to be very aware of who she's dealing with. So both parties have to be. So it's talking about exes is not, but if you know that the person is not able to handle it, don't even go there. So people talk about the exes and they laugh, both parties laugh about it and say, what you did, and they're comfortable with that. That's no problem. But you have to understand and also know the level that person is able to absorb it. But the worst thing you can do in any relationship, you never should ever in your life do that, is to begin to compare. Oh, she cooked better than you. If she cooked better, why did you stay?
I agree. I agree on this.
Why did you stay? Never ever compare. It's the same thing that from both parties. The girl, when I was dating, he used to take me to movies all the time. He gave me money. If he gave you money and movies, why did you stay with him? Why did he marry you? So both angles are there. You shouldn't do that. The women shouldn't do that too. Because I hear a lot of women will come up and say, oh, my ex used to be that. He was so fantastic in this. If he was that fantastic, he shouldn't be your ex.
All right. Can I say something? There's a comment on here which says sometimes it might be a negative experience with an ex that you would like your partner not to do the same. Example that could come to mind is where you've had an ex-partner who was always putting you down, and the new person starts going that way. In a subtle way, you could tell them, I've had this experience in the past week. John, please, can you not bring it back? So I don't want it bringing back memories. And is that wrong as well? Or is that acceptable in that context?
Yeah, in that context.
I think that's a positive though.
That's a positive.
Because at the end of the day, yeah, that's a positive for you to tell. I mean, say, oh, you know what? Yeah, you've really changed my life for the better. I remember when this person was with me, put me down, but you've just changed my life and made my life better. That is good.
That was not what I said.
No, that's what you said. No, what you said was like if your person tells you, my ex used to be a very bad person to me. He never actually always put me down all the time. But
please don't be like him.
I don't be like him, and you're not like him at all. I'm so happy that I'm with you. And when it comes to, because with exes, my dear, I never ever, because if you think about it, if he knows me, I mean, if you were to marry me, you have a heart attack. Because first of all, you see me somewhere, you think I don't play with everybody, nada. But if he knows me very well, my wife dated Lennox Lewis. I don't know if you know Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, I take my wife from him, and the guy for killed me because he big me. But nothing happened. And we always joke about it. You know that guy would have killed you. The joke, like one guy says, if you know your present partner now, there are some things you people joke about. Life is too short.
True.
You understand? Because there's something you want to tell your ex, to tell your present partner, where you fear say, if I tell him, and it's positive for both of you. But you say, if I tell her now, it depends on how much you don't know your partner well. If you know your partner well, you know what to tell them. Me, if he knows me, you can tell me any goddamn, I don't care.
We know.
Yes, but
we know you.
So that's me. Hey, I don't talk too much today. I miss when I die.
We miss you too. And don't run away again.
I know, no. I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, should I carry on then? Okay.
So why do we, at the end of the day,
Okay, sorry.
I'm here. So why do we date people like our ex?
Because we like fun.
That depends on.
That will tell because we like trouble.
We
like either fun.
Yes. Who called my name?
I did. That was the answer. Why do you like
what's
like a
Auntie, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my darling. What's the question? I'm at work, so I need to answer quickly. What's the question?
Why do we date people like our ex?
Why not?
Why will you date someone like your ex?
What
is that the reason why they're ex?
Because they mattered.
What is in the first place? It was good looking.
You like a certain kind of.
Certain kind of people. Let me answer now. You liked him. He made you laugh. He gave you grief. He kept you on your toes. You kept him on his toes. You gave each other stress. You just got tired. So it's okay. Let's go to the next one. End of. Same person.
I always love your answer.
Like you're not tired of the drama.
Okay, Esther
script, different cast. That's just what.
But Esther wanted to say something.
To thrive on drama.
No,
Esther,
I was just going to say that sometimes you attract to a certain type of people, personality or the way they look. So you tend to keep going for the same people, thinking that they'll be better. Which just goes to show that you've not learned your lessons sometimes, isn't
it? Sometimes you learn your lessons and you vow not to find yourself with the same person. But I want to think that no matter how much we want to argue about it, we seem to have a flawed perception of people's personalities. Because if your perception of someone is a bit, of course, it can't be perfect, but if it is a bit above par, you'll be able to run away from that thing that gave you grief. But because we're not able to really, really determine that man is the same 10 and 10 pence, like the French would say, same ship, different day. So it makes you end up with, I don't want to believe that somebody would know that, Kai, this is a taller version of the guy that gave me hell, and you go and grab him. I don't want to believe that.
Why do you use the word hell?
At the get-go, you convince yourself.
It's excitement, it's not hell. It's not hell. It's excitement.
And
Excitement.
Oche,
He puts pepper, fire in your body.
Most times,
oily.
before the hell comes, heaven, there's always heaven before the hell. So that's why they keep on ending up with the same people and the same sort of thing. Because
and if you have a spec physically, like if you are attracted to very light-skinned ladies, even if her behavior is like crap, it will take you time to see it. Simply because the packaging is what you are delighted.
Looking at. God bless you. Yes. I was thinking about it as well.
That's what
me too.
So most times, when you look at that person and it looks like.
But what if? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, that's I expect.
A devil's advocate here. What? Because you've just said now, why do people mostly go for someone that is like their ex and will probably give them the same grief as their ex? What if the people you go for are not the problem? What if you are the person? Because you're the common denominator.
Thank you.
What if you bring out something in people that makes them react a certain way to you? Because one person always rolling in the same mud, in the same kind of mud, there is something about you that turns that mud red.
Not all the time, couscous.
Not all the time, though.
But you cannot keep. It can't keep happening to you all the time. There's something you're doing.
No, but what if your crime is that you're naive? What if that is your crime? It's not everybody that is emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, but
how
long do you
can I ask the last question? Then we can go over time.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. And the last question is, how can you create boundaries with an ex while in a new relationship? And I would love people who told me that, I wish the guy that said about X is X. I want you to give us the recipe on how to create boundaries while with an ex, or with the exes while in a new relationship. Who's the expert in this? The exes.
I can.
Go on.
Well,
number
one, somebody answering. Number one, call your ex only from work when you're at work. Number two, visit them when your husband is not in town. Number three, shall I continue?
Ma, can I talk?
Somebody's talking. Okay, you talk.
Don't let them talk. Bye.
Hello.
Go on, yeah. Go.
I think the only way you can do that is just introduce your new partner to your ex. End of.
How can you create boundary with that one?
Why not? At least if you are really confident of yourself and you really want to, you're happy with your new relationship you're in, that will let you know that, look, this is it. I've met somebody else and I've closed the door. I've think twice about you before I close the door. Yeah, so that's why before you end relationship, think twice. So that person might be a president tomorrow, might be a millionaire. You better think twice before you really said the relationship is over. Because sometimes emotionally, physically, financially, you are still attractive to this guy and you're thinking it's over. But in your heart, you're comparing that relationship with somebody else. So the best thing you should do, go 2 weeks away and think about it. That I am really sure that this relationship is over. And then when it deep inside you know it's over, then you have the confidence to introduce another person, which is your new partner, to the person. And that's it. And if there's respect between both of you, that person will know that, definitely it is over.
Okay. Can I say something? I'm sorry, Beben. I've heard and I've seen where you've made that introduction and they become friends.
Hey.
Yes. Can I say good afternoon, good evening, good
Chris.
morning?
Go on. Hi, Chris.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Chris.
To you. Sorry, I've been missing in action. It's been a very
We've
busy
missed you too.
patch. Yeah, I've been listening. I'm kind of, maybe because I didn't start from the beginning and the discussion. But when you say X is a state of being. It has been determined that he's an ex. He's not in the past. So why would I introduce my ex
to my present relationship. I'm hearing this for the first time. Why would I do that?
To create the boundary.
But which boundary? You don't need to bring in, I'm now seeing it from her, and then I'll bring Ngozi to introduce to Ife. For what? She is my ex. All those things have been determined, have been decided, and I'm labeled that person an ex. I've moved away from that. There's no catching feelings. I know we have Okafor's law and all those. That's why when you tell your boyfriend or your present girlfriend that you're going to see your ex, it never ends well. Don't bring your ex into your relationship. No matter even if you are using it to praise your present girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, because it never ends well. Just move on and forget everything about that person. There's a reason he or she is an ex.
Okay,
Don't
Chris,
discuss it in
how
your
can you create boundaries with an ex while in a new relationship?
It's easy. It's an ex. I moved on. Okay. No boundaries. Unless we have children, we can co-parent to that extent. But if I moved on from somebody, what is creating boundaries? The boundaries has been created. I've moved on. There's nothing else. Otherwise, you are multitasking.
Clearly, you're of the school of thought that you shouldn't remain friends with your ex after a breakup.
Look, I am not in enmity with. I can still, talk to my exes, whatever that means. It's on a different level. I can't pick up the phone. You are in the other room and I'm talking to her or him. What are we talking about? What is so important? What am I sharing with her? But it doesn't mean that if we run into we went to a party and she is there, I won't, say hi. I'll say, hey, how are you? Move on. But it's not gonna be something that we'll be discussing. I'll call you. I say, hi, remember when we were dating, she used to do this. Why is that? It's not necessary. It's never, it shouldn't be. Don't tell me about it. I don't want to hear.
Okay. So having a cordial relationship with an ex for you don't think it will ever work?
I don't know what you mean by
explained.
I don't know what you mean by cordial relationship.
What she explained is cordial, because when he sees her, he has a cordial relationship with her based on how are you, blah blah blah, and then move on, keep it moving. But what I agree with what he's saying. Why keeping that close friendship? Why? What if you missed it so much, why did you end it? Okay. You're with a new person now. Yeah. So,
and that's why I keep asking, does all of these circumstances depend on how the relationship ended or not? Or it doesn't matter for you?
Look, if we are so very, very, very close, I wanted to marry you, but my parents says no. I ended up marrying Oche. Come on, man. It's over. You are now encroaching into Oche's territory. I can't come to you where you are.
Will your parents?
I'm just trying to think of a No,
that's another topic for another day.
I'm just trying to use it as an example. There's nothing wrong with the guy. We are good and all those things, but my parents stopped us from marrying. That person is now my ex because I'm now with Oche. And I can't come up and say, oh, Oche, I went to visit Ngozi today, or I will be in the same way where Ngozi is changing. That has stopped. Because if I continue, it means I will still be catching feelings, and you know what is going to happen.
Okay. So for you, there's nothing coming up, so there's no boundaries to create it. Let's hear from Esther. Esther, had your hand up. How can you create boundaries with an ex while in a new relationship?
I was gonna say the only person that will create boundaries is someone that I've got kids with, and the boundaries will be like, for example, not calling me, in crazy times or during the day, even if you want to talk about the kids, it's respecting those boundaries. And obviously, if you come to my house, my new partner is there, you have to know, and it's conversations, having conversations. And when things happen, you have to put the person straight and say, you know what, this thing cannot happen. Because sometimes when you're not with someone, sometimes you let boundaries just flow. because you're still trying to work out where you are with someone. So for example, when you haven't found somebody else, you might let him come to the house, or you might let him call you in the evening, but it shouldn't happen. But once you start getting a relationship, you start figuring out those things become a problem. So you have to start putting them in steps and say, you know what, you can't be calling me at this time. You know, if you want to come to the house, you have to let me know before you come, and start putting these boundaries. So it's about conversations. And you have to know what your boundaries are.
Okay, thank you. Any more on this from anyone? Any ideas on how to create boundaries with an ex while in a new relationship? That's where boundaries are being maintained.
For me,
where relationship is maintained, cordial relationship.
Yeah, you maintain cordial. Especially my own take has always been between couples that are split, not because with a relationship about boyfriend, girlfriend, dating and all that, you should be able to. If it's done, it's done. And there's a reason why if it's done, it's done. There's some relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, that you go through and two of you end up becoming good friends, but it's done on the other aspect. It all depends on which one you want to. And if it happens that way, just maintain that boundary. But I've had cases of where somebody divorced somebody and then they go behind the back and are still sleeping with the person. I'm like, why are you divorced in the first place? You see them and they're still going to the back and seeing the ex and they're still carrying on, and they say, oh, it's better that way for us. Okay, if it was, fine, you should have married in the first place. But for me, cordiality, especially when it comes with children involved, that's the only thing. For me, focus on the kids and that's it. I don't really want anything to do with that person. All I want to do is make sure we co-parent rightly, make sure we bring the kids up in a good, wholesome way. And don't let our animosity have to get into it. But you have to draw that boundary. Have your ex calling you in a relationship, your ex is calling you. Sometimes you use the excuse of calling you in the middle of the night because of the kids. Well, if the kids are in trouble, that's fine. But just calling you for mundane things, move along, or move along. Don't you said that you let the person know and say, listen, if it's something to do with your kids, yes, call me. Definitely. But there's other things involved. No, don't call me. We are experts. You go find it. If you are married, face the guy. If you are married, face the woman, and that's it. Because sometimes if you're not very careful in those kind of things, it will ruin your new relationship. It will ruin your new, you know what I mean? My wife will ask me sometimes, say, oh, where is this? I said, why are you asking me? That's the first question I ask. I said, if I start telling you everything, if I start answering you, what it means that I'm still in touch with the ex. And next thing you'll be thinking, how does he know about it? You know what I mean? How does he know these details? So don't try me with that kind of question because I don't know.
We're just digging. We just want to know how far you know.
Exactly. My answer is always been,
not that we need the answer.
I don't. My answer is always, I don't know. I don't know.
So even when you know, you tell us you don't know.
Even when I don't know, I don't know.
Let's hear from Ati. Ati, before we go over time.
Just keep on saying something. Why is you're an ex for a reason and blah blah blah. Do you know you can actually still like somebody, but split up with them because of other reasons, but you still like them as a person, but you don't like everything about them. That's why you split. So you cannot just completely say, because I'm not with you anymore, I will not talk to you, I don't have anything to do with you. It's not possible. If you were friends with the person while you were dating, because I suppose we all think friendship is different things to different people. Some people are nice people, but either they just like women too much, or they drink too much, or they gamble too much, or whatever. And for that reason, you think you can't cope with that relationship, you leave them. It doesn't mean you don't still like them. You just don't like their lifestyle. So there are parts of them you don't like, there are parts you still like. So except you don't have self-control. If you have self-control, you can still keep friends with such people, but you have self-control and you draw the boundaries of how far the friendship will go.
Yeah.
You cannot be in a relationship with somebody and then just cut them completely off because you're with somebody else entirely.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Ati, you are right to an extent, but let me advert your mind to this. It is not necessarily about me. For guys, it's about the woman, the other next woman. You are in a relationship, and if I'm not in a relationship, and she's my ex, and we talk every now and then. Maybe she's good in giving that, and I will always go there and get it. But once I have moved on and start seeing her, talking to her, there's tendency that if she wants to lure me and take me, she can. And if she does that, it's no longer an ex. I'm now cheating. I'm now double dating. So before you know it, you become the ex to your present spouse. Look, I can go down the list, from when I became a teenager and all university days up till now. I can still go to all my ex's house and eat without being afraid of anything. We are still friends. But to that extent, when we see, some of them I don't have their numbers. But if I run into them, we'll exchange pleasantries and move on, just like somebody, just like a friend. There's no feelings again. It helps you to secure the one that you are in. If I get up and say, oh, I'm going to visit Ngozi, and you are lying down in the house and I'm going to see Ngozi, come on, man, if that doesn't bother you, I wonder.
Okay.
Okay, Chris, you just piggyback.
Both of us are seeing Ngozi together now.
No, Ataibo, before you go on, I just want to point out something to you. The way when you talk about, and I'm talking from a personal experience, if the ex is after the life has a vicious or venomous attitude towards you, my dear, there's nothing you can do except to shut them out.
Exactly.
We're
just talking maintaining cordial relationship.
Welcome. If you want to maintain a cordial relationship, you want to, of course you will. But if the person deliberately makes it very antagonistic and very venomous,
to the extent that the present one allows it, because it's not about you. To the extent you are just trying to make sure that you're not the ex to the present one.
I'd love to go offline so we could continue a conversation offline. Is it true? Because there's this thing trending even on TikTok about your ex is your ex, no room for it, and it all comes out as if exes are enemies. Don't forget that everybody's somebody's ex. Everybody's somebody's ex. So if one person considers the other ex an enemy, that means everybody's an enemy to each other, which is not the ideal world we want to live in. The key thing I picked up from here is self-discipline, self-respect, creating the boundaries, and maintaining your, will I say dignity? Keeping your head straight in every relationship. That you've moved on from somebody does not make that person your enemy. Whether you have kids with them or not, it's irrelevant. You've met that person, you've known them, you never know. And like they will say, don't burn the bridges because you don't know. You might need it and somebody else will need to use the bridge to move on. So I'm going offline. Thank you very much for being a part of today's show. Join us next week for another interesting topic.